Very good morning, students. Today, I am going to discuss the next method, reproductive rates. So, in the previous class, we had completed measures of fertility rates, CBR, GFR, ASFR, and TFR, along with merits and demerits with problems. So today, let us discuss about reproductive rates. Now, see, in the previous method, fertility rates method is totally unsuitable for giving an idea of the rate of growth of population, which in all the methods as a demerit, as a one of the demerit we have discussed, right? In the previous all the four methods in fertility, we have discussed the rate of growth of population due to births is totally unsolvable in fertility rates because of ignoring the mortality rate. So not only the mortality, if you have observed keenly, there we have confined to only number of live births. So only live births we have considered, but we did not mention whether it is male birth or female birth, I mean baby boy or girl. Now the name will explain that reproductive rates, reproduction, reproduce. See, now the birth rate, how it reproduce? When a mother give birth to a female, not a male. Just imagine, in this entire world only male births were occurred. All the male births at particular time, I mean say particular 1 year, the entire world has given a birth to only male. Just imagine, what would be the population? Definitely population may remain constant or population may decrease, but the rate of growth is highly impossible when all the entire world, the female has given birth to only male. Just imagine. So we can't even imagine like that also, right? Now reproduction always happens to be done only when a mother give birth to female, then only the reproduction, I mean there is a chance of rate of growth of population, right? Only a mother can give birth. If mother give birth to a female, again there is a chance of next generation, I mean one more generation, there is a possibility, isn't it? Mother gave birth to a daughter and daughter gets married, and when she reaches that childbearing age, again she gives birth to a female. Now generation number 3, there is a possibility of reproduction. So that way the reproductive rate has to be calculated by considering a female give birth to a baby girl, again that baby girl, I mean daughter, reached her childbearing age, again she is having a chance of giving one more birth, I mean reproduction. So this is the way the reproductive rates has to be done. Clear? Now see, fertility rates method is unsuitable for giving an idea of the rate of growth of population because they ignore the sex of newly born children and their mortality. Remember these 2 points, I mean ignoring the sex of newly born at the same time and their mortality of female, woman, girl. These 2 things were totally ignored in fertility rates, so that fertility rates method is completely unsuitable for giving an idea of the rate of growth of population because we are ignoring both sex of newly born as well as its mortality. If mortality is ignored, we may not get correct rate of growth of population because it ignores the death of female children before reaching the childbearing age. So we are totally ignoring the death of female children before reaching the childbearing age. If mortality is ignored, we cannot get the correct rate of growth of population. Where the mortality is considered, at the same time newly born children, the sex of newly born children is considered, there is a chance of finding the rate of growth of population due to births. So let us see the methods. Reproductive rates. For measuring the rate of growth of population, we calculate the reproductive rates, right? For measuring the rate of growth of population, we calculate the reproductive rates, provided only female births are considered. At the same time, the mortality of female is taken into account. So under these two assumptions, we can measure the rate of growth of population. So to calculate these reproductive rates, we have two methods. Number one, gross reproductive rate. Number two, net reproductive rate. So let us see gross reproductive rate, GRR. Gross reproductive rate, it is a redefined measure of fertility which account for future mothers, because we are considering sex of a newly born, that too only female, because female has a chance of reproducing and reproduction process. Clear? So look at this definition. Sum of annual WSFR of the entire reproductive span without mortality. So gross reproductive rate, the sum of annual WSFR. So I'll explain you what is the difference between ASFR and WSFR. The sum of annual WSFR of the entire reproductive span 15 to 49 without mortality. Even GRR is not considering the mortality of female woman. Remember this. But GRR is considering the sex of newly born but not mortality. It shows the rate at which mothers would be replaced by daughters and the old generation by new if no mother died or migrated before reaching the childbearing age. So before reaching the childbearing age, 49 year, upper age, 49th year, we are ignoring here also no mother is died. We are ignoring the mothers dying as well as migrating. Clear? So let us see the formula of GRR. GRR equals to I into summation, where I equals to 15 to 49 childbearing age, WSFR. I said you difference between WSFR and ASFR. Tell me, ASFR means age specific, WSFR means woman specific. In ASFR, particular age group, birth rate we have calculated, individual age group, number of live births in a specific age per female population in that particular age multiplied by 1000. But where in WSFR, number of female births, remember, that is the difference, age specific as well as woman specific. The name itself will tell you woman specific, that means particular female specific birth and female population. So that is the difference. But there in ASFR, only live births irrespective of male or female, but here we have to consider only female births. That's why WSFR formula is female births by female population into 1000 in a specific age. So the number of female births in a specific age divided by female population in that particular age multiplied by 1000, we get a WSFR. There and here difference, there live births, here female births. There sex of newly born is ignored, here sex of newly born is considered, taken into account. So look at the formula, GRR equals to I into summation WSFR, woman specific fertility rate. You know what is I? Magnitude of the age class. That means generally we have quinquennial age 5. So 5 has to be multiplied. Look at the conclusions based on that formula in the problem. How to conclude? If GRR value gets 1, it indicates that current generation of females of childbearing age will maintain itself on the basis of current fertility. Underline, without mortality. Even GRR is also ignoring the mortality of females. Am I clear? So only one change in GRR is we are considering, see, just compare their total fertility, here gross reproductive. Total fertility we have 5 summation annual ASFRs, wherein here in GRR 5 summation, 5 means quinquennial age, obviously it will be quinquennial, 5 summation annual WSFR. What is the meaning of WSFR? The ratio between female births by female population into 1000 in a specific age. So now if GRR value gets 1 after substituting, it indicates that current generation of females of childbearing will maintain itself on the basis of current fertility without mortality. If GRR value is less than 1, then obviously the population is declining. Population would be declined. If GRR value greater than 1, population would increase, high level. See this, GRR equals to 1, less than 1, greater than 1. How to bifurcate? When we want to calculate the average number of children in TFR, what we have done? TFR divided by 1000. Even here also, if you want to observe the population, whether it is increasing or decreasing, the GRR answer divided by 1000 if you do, you will be getting the rate. Okay, so the rate, how it indicates? The final answer, either GRR or NRR calculation divided by 1000 if you do, just like TFR, you will be getting the rate of growth of population. But GRR is not the exact method of indicating the rate of growth of population, because, tell me the reason? Even in GRR, we are ignoring the mortality of females. Clear? Till their childbearing age, 49, upper age. So here also we are ignoring it. But we considered what? Female births, sex of newly born we have considered, but not mortality of female. So this GRR method failed to produce the rate of growth of population due to births. So let us have merits and demerits of GRR. So merits: comparing fertility in different areas or same area at a different time periods. That is possible by using GRR. So we can compare fertility in different populations as well as or the same area in different time periods. And second thing, as I mentioned, sex of newly born is considered. That means only female births are considered for future mothers, because reproduction, no, we want only mothers. We want to consider only females. Reproduction happens to be done only with the female. Next, what is the demerit? Just now I mentioned, even in GRR, it ignores the current mortality of women till their uppermost value of childbearing age, that is 49. Clear? So these are the merits and demerits of GRR. So I hope I am clear about GRR concept. So let us have the next method, net reproductive rate. Let us see whether this mortality is ignored or considered in NRR. If it is considered along with newly born, sex of newly born, then NRR method would be the ultimate method of finding or indicating the rate of growth of population due to births. So let us see NRR. Here come NRR, net reproductive rate. GRR does not take into account of current mortality. So to overcome that above situation, we use NRR. Just now I said that means in NRR we are not ignoring the mortality of female, we are considering the mortality of female. See the definition. The average number of daughters that would be born to a female if she passed through her lifetime conforming to ASFR, I mean a specific fertility, at the same time mortality rate of a given year. So only one thing here, the average number of daughters that would be born to a female if she passed through her lifetime conforming to age specific and mortality rate of a given year. I mean, so age is also conforming as well as the mortality is also conforming to a woman, right, who gave birth to a female, then this method is applicable. That is, the number of female children surviving till their reproductive ages as she passes through childbearing age. So this is the NRR definition. Let us see the introduction, little note, how to conclude it. See now, let us compare GRR and NRR. What immediately will strike in your mind? GRR and NRR. One thing, GRR, newly born baby, sex of newly born baby is taken into account, wherein NRR, of course it is also considered. In GRR, mortality of female is ignored, but wherein NRR, it is not ignored, it is taken into account, it is considered. Mortality of woman is taken. So when mortality of woman is taken, obviously NRR value will get lesser than the GRR, right? Because mortality, survival rate of woman you have taken, but in GRR you have not considered. You assume that all the women survives throughout her lifespan, but here it is not like that. That's why NRR value will never ever exceed GRR value. Because of that one condition, NRR taken into account of mortality of females, GRR it ignores, right? So now when NRR equals to GRR, when these two rates will be equal, exactly a newly born daughters reached the childbearing age and passed through it, right? So that means NRR value, if you gets 1, it indicates that the current fertility and mortality rate, exactly the number of deaths of females, how many are happened, it will be replaced by the newborns, female borns. So that means population remains same, constant, it will not change. If NRR value less than 1, then population will be declining, it has a declining tendency. If NRR value greater than 1, it has a increasing tendency, right? But NRR and GRR, if you compare, NRR value will never exceed GRR. Say example, if GRR value is 1.5 something rate, if NRR is 1.2, right, that means check only NRR, because GRR should be ignored. The ultimate method is NRR. When you compare both GRR and NRR, if NRR value is less than 1, don't compare with GRR, because NRR will never exceed GRR. So look at the formula, NRR equals to I into WSFR into SR, where I equals to magnitude of age class, the quinquennial age group 5, WSFR means female births by female population into 1000, SR means survival rate of woman, female. See, GRR and NRR, suppose if GRR value is 1.5 something, individually if you see, here the population is increasing, right? Here NRR value is 1.2, here also the population increases individually if you see, but together when you compare GRR value and NRR value will never ever cross GRR value. In such comparison, you have to taken into consideration of only NRR. GRR you ignore it. When NRR is 1.2 means greater than 1, what is the conclusion? Population increases. If NRR value is less than 1, 0.98 something, population decreases. When together you are calculating, only consider NRR, ignore GRR, but see to that NRR value will never exceed GRR. Am I clear? So this way the conclusion has to be written. So let us see the merits and demerits of GRR and NRR. Here come merits. It takes into account of current fertility and current mortality. Yes, NRR considers both current fertility, female births, sex of newly born, along with particular age groups. 15 to 49 childbearing also will be considered, as well as current mortality of women also considered. It shows a tendency of increase or decrease in the population. Yes, right, less than 1, greater than 1, the rate when you are calculating, no, obviously it has a tendency of increasing or decreasing NRR, because mortality you are ignoring. Sometimes mortality would be higher, sometimes mortality would be lower. So the rate of growth of population due to births is possible. It indicates the rate of growth of population due to live births. Now demerits. It cannot be used for forecasting the future population. Only based on NRR we cannot say that this is going to be the future population, because the mortality keeps on changing. It ups and downs will be there, obviously increasing or decreasing population will be there. At certain point the population increases, at certain point the population decreases. All of a sudden, if more floods or earthquakes, sudden drastic climatic situation occurs, obviously the things will come down, population may decrease due to deaths, right? So that way future population cannot be estimated or forecasted by using NRR. It assumes constant rates of fertility and mortality over a generation. In actual life they are keeps on changing it, but here we have taken into account of in a constant rate the fertility and mortality. But in general actual day-to-day life it is not possible. Constant rate may not be there, ups and downs will be there, but here we assume that it has a constant rate of fertility and mortality. So our assumption is wrong, that's why it has come under demerit. Now it depleted more by migrations than declining birth rate, right? So that is a demerit. See, migration is different. Shifting from one place to other, definitely the population decreases. Than declining the birth rate due to deaths, entirely different. Migrating or deaths, obviously the population decreases, isn't it? When you are taken into a constant account as second point, fertility and mortality over a generation, both are in a constant rate. If we assume that, then here either migration or the deaths remains the same. So we depleted more by migrations than declining birth rate in NRR method. That's why that has come under demerit. So this is all about GRR and NRR introduction. I hope you understand. If you have any doubts, please just rewind back and play again. You will get a clear idea about GRR and NRR. So among fertility rates and reproductive rates, that's why initially I have mentioned it's a refined fertility rate. Just like we say that refined oil, everything was filtered, right? Minerals, proteins, everything, calcium, all those things will be filtered. Refined one it is. Okay, here also the same thing. Everything is considered in NRR. Just check in NRR just briefly. Age compositions are taken into account. Sex composition also taken. Particular childbearing is taken. Sex of newly born is taken. Mortality of female is taken. Right? Everything is considered. That's why this NRR method is an ultimate method of indicating the rate of growth of population due to births. Am I clear? So we shall see the problems based on GRR and NRR in the coming class. I hope everybody is doing great. Please stay home, stay safe. If you have any queries, you can drop it in a comment box. Just I'll go through it and then I'll try to rectify it. I'll try to re-explain it once again in the next videos. So please stay home, stay safe, be healthy. Okay? So listen all these classes. Do not misuse anywhere. So please Give your best, do your best. Thank you.